I've had this polygel set on for a month, so I'm going to show you how I do a fill, pretty much change the base color without doing a full new set, and what my prep routine is to achieve this kind of retention. And before we get into this detailed tutorial, just a reminder that everything that I'm using today is from my brand, DTYN. You can shop our polygels, brushes, art gels, and gel polishes on our site at DTYNnails.com, and be sure to use code YouTube to save 10%. So this is how my nails are looking pretty much after a month. I did use pretty much every shade from our neutral polygel collection, and I have a 10-month-old puppy, so these are still going strong, and I haven't had any pop off or really had any lifting. And these have definitely got some length on them, and I don't feel like the apex is super high, so you can definitely make your nails last with polygel. So we're going to go through this step by step. I'm going to show you how I change the base color as well. I have a different color on each nail, so we're going to go ahead and do one color. So we have to file off the design first, so I'm getting my dust collector ready, my mask, my safety glasses, and my Melody Susie e-file, and I'm going to start with a medium 5-in-1 bit. This is usually my go-to bit when it comes to removing a design. And the tapered cone shape is also really helpful for removing any lifting and just kind of smoothing out the apex area. So I'm using this at a pretty high speed, but do what feels comfortable, and then I'm just using the dust collector underneath here to make sure I'm trying to catch all of that dust, and we're just going to go ahead and remove the entire design. So that's always going to be the first step when you're doing a fill, is to pretty much go ahead and remove the design, and you're going to remove the base depending on what you're planning to do. So for me, I am changing the base color. So I have this light pink here, and I want to do a kind of darker pink, so I'm going to remove a little more than I normally would. And I'm just showing the cuticle area here, so if there's any lifting, that's where you would kind of remove that very gently. You want to keep your e-file at a low speed once you get to this point, and keep your bit parallel to the nail. You could also use something more gentle, like a very fine grit sanding band, like a 240 grit, if you feel more comfortable with that when it comes to the cuticle area. As I'm filing the design, I'm trying to be more careful as I get to the free edge, just because we are going to keep the almond shape. I don't want to accidentally like nick the sides or file off too much to where I lose the almond shape pretty much, because I don't want to do an entire new set. And again, I'm making sure I'm keeping my bit parallel to the nail plate when I am working on what was the cuticle area. Now it's pretty much grown out. My nails do grow pretty quick, and this is probably longer than I would normally like to go when it comes to like doing a fill or like a rebalance, but I still wanted to work with what we have, and I felt like this was a good opportunity to show the process for this, because it's been quite some time since I've done that. And one of the common questions I always get is, can you do a fill? Can you do a rebalance with polygel? And the answer is absolutely. It's just like acrylic, so as long as you pretty much remove any lifting and everything is looking good underneath, you can absolutely go ahead and do a fill. You don't need to remove your entire set. Since I'm removing more of the structure than I normally would, so I can change the base color, this is kind of gonna be in the more of a realm of like a rebalance, where we're gonna rebuild some of the apex. But that being said, if you were just doing like a normal like 2-week or even 3-week fill, you really wouldn't want to remove too much of the structure. You would just want to clean off the old design, clean up any lifting, and then just apply the product in the grown out area near the cuticle pretty much. You wouldn't need to apply it over the entire nail. And while we are not doing any nail art in this set, pretty much once you're done, you can do any nail art over the set, but I just wanted to share this footage that I had before I got super sidetracked with our new summer launch that just happened, because I feel like this process is hopefully helpful for some of you to see in depth. Once you are done with all of your filing, you can go ahead and dust off, and we are going to move on to nail prep. So we're starting by pushing back the cuticle very gently. If your nails are lifting, it can probably be traced back to your prep. I mean, every step is important, but I would recommend really slowing down your prep and taking your time with it. So this is a step that we do for a new set and even for a fill, just to make sure that the nail plate is nice and clean, so when we go in with our new product, it doesn't lift. For that extra cleanup, I'm using a micro taper bit at a low speed, and then a 240 grit sanding band, just to go over the natural nail and make sure everything is nice and smooth. But I do try to keep it pretty minimal and just do what's needed. And now I'm cleansing with Young Nail Swipe, which is basically a dehydrator, and I'm applying primer to the natural nail. Now I'm applying my gel base coat, very important, and make sure that is fully cured in your lamp, and do not wipe off the sticky layer. That's going to be the anchor for your polygel. Now it's time for application. So this is the polygel brush from my brand. It's our hybrid gel brush. This is pretty much a medium size. We only have one size at the moment, but in the future we will eventually have more sizes, and This is pretty much going to help with application because it has a larger brush head and it's also tapered at the edge, and so it makes it easy to get into the cuticle area. So I just use that with 70% isopropyl alcohol. I dip my brush into the slip solution and just dab it on a lint-free wipe. You want to make sure your brush is not overly saturated because you don't want to flood the nail with too much liquid. On the other hand, if your brush is too dry, that's not really going to help mold your polygel. So you just want your brush to be damp enough to help move the polygel around without it being too sticky. But our brand has a pretty balanced formula, so hopefully you will find it pretty easy to work with. These are the 4 colors we have in our neutral polygel bundle. You can buy it as a bundle with the brush, with just the polygels, or you can buy the colors individually. And today we are going to be using Pink Essence, which is the second color from the left. But in order, we have Coquette Blush, Pink Essence, Wispy Peach, and Desert Rose. Pink Essence is the perfect bubblegum pink color, and I feel like it really gives you that acrylic look. It's a really nice cover color, and it's just super pigmented and bright and fun. So this is the color that I wanted to apply on all of the nails. So I'm taking this little stick here and applying a bead on the nail. This is the type of placement I aim for, and like I said, because we are doing an entire new base color, I'm pretty much going to do one larger bead. I usually do multiple beads, but today we're going to do one bead for most of the nails, and then I'll show you an example with 2 beads. But once you've placed it pretty much how I had it and you flattened it, you want to just start gently patting and dragging down. We're working on top of the product, so you don't want to stab your brush into the product. You want to lightly work on top of it, use light tapping motions, and really slow down your work if needed, and you can always drag off any excess. And then for the cuticle area, I'm just going to go ahead and push that product up gently. We're going to tuck it into the cuticle area using the corners of our brush. It's always better to place the product below and then work it towards it, and then use your brush to clean anything up as needed. And as I mentioned, the tapered brush head really helps with the cuticle area and just making sure everything is nice and flush as much as we can. And that's pretty much it. Super easy. You just go ahead and cure and wipe off the sticky layer, and we're gonna go ahead and repeat for all of the rest of the nails. This nail I added a little bit too much, so you'll see me drag off the product, and you can always use the excess product on another nail, but pretty much we are starting at the area where the apex would be, and we are gently tapping and patting and dragging down, working on top of the product, using our brush to keep swiping those sidewalls. We're pretty much working to make sure that the application fits to the nail tip. And once that's to our liking, I am just gonna go ahead and tuck that product into the cuticle area once again. I don't know why I've been reversing this lately. Normally I do it the other way around, but for some reason, this is just what I've been doing lately, is doing the free edge area first and then going back and fixing the cuticle area. Now I'll show you an example with the 2 bead method. So we're gonna start with a bead, again, kind of where the apex area is, and start flattening it out. Once you've got it flattened out a little bit to your liking, but not completely flat, we're gonna start dragging down, and we're gonna start dragging off the excess product and tapping those sidewalls again to remove any excess product as needed. And fully cure that. If you're gonna use multiple beads, I do recommend curing in between beads. And then we're gonna work with this second bead here in the cuticle area and just use the edges of our brush to gently push it upwards and tuck it into the cuticle area. I'm using very light tapping motions here, again, trying to be gentle and work on top of the product, and go ahead and cure. And we're pretty much flying through this. This was a super quick process. You would think like this is super time consuming, but really once you get the hang of it, like this is honestly quicker than if I had to remove the whole set, do a whole new set of tips, do my prep from the beginning. So if you're looking at like even just do like a rebalance, I mean, pretty much here we are rebuilding the structure of the apex because I removed more of the product to do a new base color. You can totally do that. But even if you were just like doing a fill where you just added a new bead of polygel in the cuticle area, it's an even quicker process. So if you've been looking to do fills or rebalances with your polygel, I would definitely recommend trying it out with your next set. And we are finishing off with the pinky here, just tucking the product into the cuticle area, making sure that everything is nice and smooth. And now we're gonna go ahead and fully cure and remove the sticky layer. Polygel always has a sticky layer, which is the inhibition layer. Now we are back to shaping. We're gonna use our Melody Suzy E-File again, and now I'm using a 5-in-1 bit, but this is a fine grit one. So we used a medium grit one before, so this is not as coarse. And I like to use this at a low speed, about 4 to 5 RPMs, and clean up the cuticle area first. It's also great for cleaning under the nail. The shape of this bit is also just helpful for really kind of getting a uniform shape and structure to your nail and cleaning it up where needed because of that cone shape. you can pretty much use the different components of the drill bit up and down the nail, like I'm doing here with the kind of side to side motion, and pretty much it's gonna make your nails look really nice from the side and kind of give it that smooth transition like I mentioned, where it's more flush at the cuticle area, it rises up where the apex is, and then, you know, it transitions down to the free edge. And honestly, it's truly a personal preference what your nails look like from the side profile, because some like a larger apex, some like it more flat. So do what looks good to you. I definitely like a more natural apex these days, but you know, it's really up to you. As long as you're being safe and you're applying the product correctly and it's fully cured and all of that, you should be good to go. And we're gonna also use a round pana bit. I didn't have to use this bit, but I just like to show it as an alternative to the 5-in-1 bit because it can pretty much do the same thing, but it has a different shape. This bit is really great for removal or if you have a ton of shaping or debulking to do. But you can always run it over the surface of your nail to smooth everything out. But like I said, I honestly could have skipped it, but I just like to show it because it is still one of my favorite drill bits in my nail kit. So you can definitely try out both and see what you like, but this is definitely a more coarse drill bit. So like I said, it's really great for removal when it comes time for that. And polygel is a lot softer than acrylic. That doesn't mean that it's not as strong, but it's gonna file more easily. So you just wanna be mindful to not file away all of the hard work that you did on your application and just kind of shape where needed. Now we're moving on to hand filing. So we're gonna use an 80/80 grit hand file. I'm just gonna season the edges so I don't cut myself. And this is a non-negotiable for me. I feel like hand filing and combining that with the e-file is what really brings your nails together. So this is where I start normally with my hand filing. I file under the sidewalls because if there's any excess product under there, that might be why your nails look bulky. You just want to make sure you're not creating a notch on the side of your nail and you're not digging into the sidewalls too much of your natural nail. Just try to keep it focused on the free edge. And then I like to file against the sidewalls. I am going in at an angle just because it is an almond shape, so I'm not too worried about keeping my file super straight. And then we are going to file over the entire surface of the nail. And this is pretty much when all of it starts coming together and it starts looking extra crisp. So I would say when it comes to the apex and cuticle area, it's kind of up to you. I usually go over it lightly, but there are times that I skip it. It just depends because this is a coarse file. So if you feel like that area looks perfect to you, if you go in with your hand file too much, you might file away too much and it might look too thin in that area, especially with more sheer colors. So I would say use your discretion, but you don't have to hand file in the cuticle or apex area too much if you feel like it's kind of pretty much perfect into your liking, especially with the coarser file, like an 80/80 grit hand file. But we're gonna go ahead and keep moving through the rest of the nails. So I'm just cleaning up the sides and I'm also rounding out the free edge because that does get a little bit, of product added onto there and a little bit more, not super bulky, but there's obviously some structure that's been added there during application. So I just want to make sure that we're pretty much going for a tapered almond slash, it's not a stiletto obviously, but it's kind of like an almond slash stiletto, a longer tapered almond. So I do want the free edge to be round, but I don't want it to be too skinny either like a stiletto. So I just try to lightly reshape it, and it's kind of funny, but you can see the original colors when I flip my hand over, but then on the top we pretty much have pink essence, so it's kind of cool to see. Now pretty much the bulk of our filing is done, and now we're just going to smooth everything out. This is a question I got on TikTok. How do you make sure your nails are smooth after all of that filing, so when it comes time for polish you have that really polished look? So the first way that you can do it is with a 240 grit sanding band. This is a very fine grit sanding band, and you can just take your e-file. You can even use it at a little bit of a higher speed, 10 RPMs, and just run it over the entire nail. And this is going to give you a pretty much polished and smooth surface and get rid of any scratches. But if you want that really polished look, you can do this instead, or just pair it with cuticle oil and buffing. I like to do cuticle oil and buffing. That's kind of my preference over the sanding band, but you could do both. You could do one or the other. But this is going to give you a very, very polished and smooth look. So you just want to make sure that once you're done, you remove any remove any oils and thoroughly wash your hands and cleanse with alcohol so you don't have any of that on your nails when it comes time for nail art. And this is how the full set turned out. I did not do any nail art today, but I still wanted to show this. And then I also wanted to say, if you have not shopped our summer collection yet, we still have stock. Stock is more limited. But we still have some collections left, so if you want to grab any of the individual bottles or the full collection, I would say go ahead and grab it now. These colors are super fun for summer and even beyond. I love using like jelly colors for shading and stuff. I have some fun sets planned with these coming up as well. This is the Art Glass collection. The full collection is $77, which is a really great deal compared to buying individually. The bottles are $12.95 each individually, and you can use code YouTube to save another 10%. It also comes in a really stunning package with like a sleek outer sleeve and like this little tray inside. So just wanted to say, if you haven't grabbed it yet, go ahead and check it out. This is like an architecture inspired collection, so this is how the box looks. Absolutely love the design, and here are all the colors again, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.